Guys, let's jump right into those markets now, which actually finished the week down on Friday. And this morning, futures are down ahead of the opening bell. But I want to talk about Friday's jobs report for a moment. Now, the economy was not supposed to add 500,000 jobs in January. How is this happening as the economy seems to be slowing down, Dan?
Well, it's quite amazing. This was a stunning number which nobody had anticipated. Look, it's certainly good news to see that 517,000 jobs were added, of course. Now, the big question is, how is that going to impact what the Federal Reserve does next as far as raising interest rates? Because that is what is being used to bring down inflation. My argument here is that the Fed should back off. Why? If we're putting that many people back to work, isn't that helping with the supply chain? I would think so.
Hey, Alex, can I
Yes,
jump in on this real quick?
Seth.
Yeah, because I mean, I agree with everything Dan said, but the one thing that I have been stressing is we've got to take a deeper look at what these numbers are telling us. While we did gain a ton of jobs, and that on the surface looks really great, we're losing a lot of jobs and high-paying jobs. If you factor in leisure and hospitality, which typically are not high-wage jobs, as well as government jobs, that means Uncle Sam's spending more money to hire more people. That's almost half of the job gains right there. So we've got to really factor in that and net out those that are lost. By the way, unemployment rate, again, if someone hasn't been looking for work for 4 weeks, they're not counted anymore. So I do think a lot of these jobs that are getting filled are people finally feeling the pinch of this economy that are jumping back into the workforce but taking those low-wage jobs.
Good point, Seth. Let's stick with jobs for a moment. So it seems that employers are now considering a 4-day work week. You know, we've talked about this a little bit, you know, different employers kind of starting to implement this. Dan, let's go back to you. How close are we to becoming maybe the norm for many more employers?
I think we have a way to go before that actually becomes the standard work week in this country. However, it's going to be driven by the fact of how much competition there is with employers trying to find employees. If employees have the leverage, and they've had for quite some time, pretty much through the pandemic, and you've seen that employers have had to change and adopt the remote work model and continue it thereafter, I think if that trend continues, yeah, we're probably going to see a lot more of the 4-day work week.
Interesting. So things aren't so happy in the happiest place on earth. So Disney World unions have said no to the latest contract offer. Seth, what does this mean for the parks that we all love?
Yeah, I don't know that it means anything just yet. About 40% of the employees at Disney World are unionized, and you know, Disney offered them a $1 per hour raise. That's effectively starting at their $15 hour rate each year for the next 5 years. They wanted an immediate $3, but they have said that they will go back to the negotiation table. Bob Iger has done a great job of turning Disney around in a very short tenure. He's gained back half of the loss of their stock. My sense is he's got some business sense, something up his sleeve to figure this thing out. I don't think we see the most magical place in the world shut down.
Let's end on a quite an interesting story. So we've seen a lot of crazy things up for auction on eBay. This might top them all. So a piece of history from Tom Brady's now viral retirement announcement video is up for auction on eBay. Dan, what is it and how much is it going for?
Well, it's supposedly the sand in which Tom Brady was standing on when he made his retirement announcement round 2. So I got to tell you, I've seen that the numbers expected here could be $100,000. This is one that is just far too much of a stretch for me. I don't understand it.
Sand for $100,000, and can they even verify that's I don't know. Anyway, that's just crazy to me. Seth Denson, Dan Geltrude, thank you guys so much for joining us this Monday morning. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Alex.
Thank you, Alex.